Okay, we just covered how to fact find like a doctor. Now I'm going to share with you the 5 most important things that you want to learn from your new guests during your fact finding sessions with them. I touched on it briefly in the last video, but I just wanted to make sure that we were crystal clear on it, so I'm going to go into a little bit more detail here. Because not everyone is going to be interested in floating for the same reasons or have the same level of awareness about what floating is, everyone will have heard about it from a different place, we don't want to go into our fact finding with a very rigid script, a very rigid set of questions. We want to be able to be a little fluid, a little off the cuff with them. So as you do your fact finding, these are the 5 things you want to find out. They're not necessarily the 5 questions that you need to ask, but it's the 5 things you need to get to the heart of with your new guests. First and foremost, you want to find out if they have floated before. If they have, they're already familiar with the tanks, they're already familiar with the process of showering, getting in, getting out, so we won't have the same kind of interaction with them that we do with someone who's a total newbie. If they haven't floated before and are a total newbie, you'll know that you need to start from square one in how you engage with them and interact with them. So step 1, have you floated before? Question number 2 is, how did you hear about floating? So you want to find out where they've been getting their information from, right? Is it Joe Rogan? Is it a friend of theirs? Is it a magazine? Is it a blog article? You want to understand what they know about it so that you can help speak to the things that they're already semi-aware of. If someone listens to Joe Rogan, they've probably heard quite a bit about floating because he talks about it as often as he can. But if they only read one blog article, again, they're much closer to the newbie side of the spectrum. So question 2 is, where did you hear about floating? Question 3 is, do you know anyone else who's done it? Now we're asking this question for the same reason that we asked question number 2. We're trying to gauge how much this person actually knows about floating. Is a friend of theirs a frequent floater who's told them everything they possibly can about it? Did their cousin try it once and say, yeah, this was cool, maybe try it out? It's important for us to know how many degrees of separation they have from floating. If someone close to them has already done it, you can use that to help them relax and let their guard down, right? My cousin Joey's floated before. He told me it was great. Question number 3 is, do you know anyone else who has floated before? Question number 4 is, what interests you most about it? So this question is going to get them to start talking about what interests them, why they're compelled to try it for themselves. They might come back and say something like, I really like the idea of being alone with my thoughts, or I've been having a hard time meditating, the world's so busy, I'm hoping that maybe this can help. But the reason that they're interested in it is something you need to know to help cater the rest of your presentation to their interest. Question number 4, what interests you most about it? And finally, we ask them question number 5. What do they hope they'll get out of the experience? So this really puts the ball in their court and lets them tell you directly, I hope that this helps me with the back pain I've been dealing with. I hope that this helps me with the stress that I've had from my work lately. They are going to tell you in no uncertain terms exactly what they want to get out of the experience. Now, of course, we don't want to be too rigid, right? This isn't a checklist. We're not like, and what do you do this? And then what do you do this? It needs to be conversational. It needs to be grounded, and it needs to be human. But if you learn these 5 things from them over the course of interacting and fact-finding with them, they are going to give you everything you need to blow their mind during the presentation and walkthrough of your studios, which in turn will make it that much easier for you to close them on a membership or package after their float. In the next module segment, we're going to be talking about how to give a killer presentation and the talking points that you want to be familiar with in order to cater their interest in floating with the science about how floating works and how it can help people. When you're ready, hop on in. Looking forward to seeing you.